Hi, it's Pastor Andy with our Friday preview for this week. And this week we're looking at 2 verses, half the number that we did last week. But this message will be a little bit longer. I hope the time of prayer was beneficial from last week. Last week we did talk about the need to pray. And a couple of weeks ago, on the 19th, we had Hub Sunday in between there, but a couple of weeks before last week, we talked about our need to give. And this week we're going to do another dimension of what it means to be a Christian, and that is the need to serve. Now, in this passage, we have very little about one person whom we know nothing else about except for what is in these verses this week, Romans 16, 1 and 2. The person, obviously Paul is mentioned here, the church at Rome is mentioned here, actually the church at Cenchreae is mentioned here as well, but the only other person besides Paul who is not named in this, in these verses specifically, is Phoebe. And it says a couple of things. Actually, there's 3 different things that we are told about Phoebe in this. Number 1, she's a sister, meaning she's a sister in Christ. And Paul commends her to the church at Rome because of this. She is also a servant, and so that is our focus for the week, that we have a need to serve. And we're going to talk a little bit about what that means in this context, and then later on Tuesday and Wednesday in next week's discipleship videos, I'm going to break that word down a little bit further because it is a specific word for servant here. And then the final thing that we find out about Phoebe is that she was a patron. And of course, in our world today, we think of somebody who is a patron might be a customer, but in historical context, a patron was somebody who provided care, perhaps financial assistance. So it's very possible that Phoebe may have been wealthy, maybe owned her own business, but whatever she was, whoever she was, in totality, one thing is that Paul trusted her and wanted the church at Rome to care for her when she arrived. So that is going to be our focus for this week. I do encourage you, as we think about prayer from last week, to continue to pray for our various ministries, and specifically for our children's ministries at this time. God Squad took a break last week, but they are back on, so by the time you watch this, potentially if you watched on Friday of this week, they will have met for a second time yesterday, and that again is K through 3rd grade. The root group, 4th through 6th grade, met for the first time last night. They are restarting again. And the youth group, grades 7 through 12, met for the first time this year, this school season, on Wednesday night. And so from K through 18, K through graduation, whatever it might be, they're back in full swing at this point. And so do keep the children in your prayer, their families, their parents, their lives certainly, but also our leaders, the workers who are helping with it. Keep all of them in prayer as we try to minister to the various children in this town and some that come from other towns as well as a part of our ministries here at Fairfax Baptist Church. So with that, I will say I hope to see you on Sunday, or I hope at least, if you're not able to be here, that you'll take time to see me through video on Sunday or sometime next week.